This course will be using the textbook Introduction to Food Service Management in the New Millennium, a computer lab manual. Welcome to Food Service Systems 1, FCS 252. If you want to have access to your course syllabus, you can download it from D2L. As management students in food service, it's important to begin with understanding the full implications of the food service industry. Now, the food service industry is characterized by many different activities that are tied to the presentation of food, the appearance of food, and really properly framed, it involves the working of management with the cooking and service staff. In truth, the management team really helps to bridge production with human resource management, customer relations, and nutrition, ultimately leading to increased sales and increased profitability. And really, the goal ultimately is serving safe food. Avoid food poisonings so that your customers can thoroughly enjoy their food and not end up in the intensive care unit. Ensure consistent, safe preparation techniques by formalizing procedures, formalizing cooking and serving procedures so that everyone is safe. This is an important consideration, especially since many of you will be working in homes for the care for the elderly, basically hospitals, and involving quite a few individuals. And so a food poisoning in this setting will ultimately cost lives because patients ultimately are weaker, they are immunocompromised, the elderly are weaker, and they succumb much easier to a food infection. So what have we learned so far? Well, it's important in the food industry as you're working as a manager to make sure that you're financially viable, that you're presenting food that's safe, and here we're showing that it's also important to present food that's very attractive. It's important to entice your customer with colorful, imaginative presentations that will really bring repeat customers to your institution. There's a great challenge in today's society, and that is to make fruits and vegetables attractive to children. And these are some techniques that restaurateurs and people in the food industry have thought up that might actually work for children in drawing them into wanting to taste these fruits and vegetables. And I myself have tried this with teenagers, and I've never seen vegetables and fruit disappear so quickly. So the takeaway here is it's important as a manager to think outside the box, to kind of reach a little further than the usual in order to make food attractive, but more importantly, to make nutritious food attractive. Also, the newer research that's coming out has really condemned excessive meat and specifically excessive processed meat consumption. So this really opens the door to introducing newer forms of protein that are vegetable-based and, of course, introducing more varied fruits and vegetables, the cruciferous vegetables, which are the ones least consumed by Americans. So now the task is really to try to develop menus that really introduce these newer forms of eating that are better for long-term health. So therefore, the objectives of this course are really to learn principles of menu development for a healthcare setting, to learn the principles of recipe standardization, examine the principles of food purchasing, storage, preparation, and service, and to apply principles of menu planning, recipe standardization, and recipe costing, all within a healthcare setting. To introduce some of the National Restaurant Association's ServSafe standards and to apply principles of inventory, purchasing, and overall cost accounting within a healthcare setting, and really to understand the concepts and theories of management. Now, the course is going to be top heavy. That means that the course load dealing with the labs and so forth are going to be more intense in the earlier part of the course, but in the later part, the labs actually lighten up. So I don't want students to get overwhelmed and disheartened, but you're going to learn a lot about menu planning and recipe standardizations early on. As teams, you're going to have to work pretty hard. But before you get overwhelmed, make sure you contact me, David Bissonnette, at the phone number right here, which is the office number, and you can leave a message or contact me by email. If you do need to meet with me, we could do it through Zoom during this period of COVID-19, but on a regular basis, my office is at the Weekend Center B107, and just basically meet with me by appointment. Here again is my email address that you can basically reach me at. And of course, it's an online class, and the online class works by weekly responsibilities. There are some mini quizzes. They're called pre-lab quizzes. They don't count for a lot, but cumulatively they end up counting. And they're really based on, their intention is to test your basic knowledge about the concepts learned in the labs. There are weekly labs. Some of these labs last 3-4 weeks, and some of them are a little shorter. Again, the course content, much of it, and the content of the labs, that is the theoretical parts of the labs, are found in the textbook Introduction to Food Service Management in the New Millennium. This is a picture of the grading scheme that I use. It's at the back of the syllabus as well, so you can see I work with A pluses, A minus, B plus B, and B minus, and so forth. And you can see the percentages, and the percentages are associated with point ranges. So consult these when you're trying to understand your grade. Overall, there are 6 computer labs, and they're described in your syllabus. And these computer labs are worked on in teams, and when you submit your reports, it's 1 lab report per team, and they're to be submitted to D2L. Always make sure that your submissions include a title page with the names of all students in the actual team. I'll basically go over the review of these labs right here. So first, it starts off with the development of a hospital menu, which is a cycle menu, then the development of recipes through recipe standardization procedures, which I'll basically show you, and then recipe costing, menu management, inventory control, purchasing, and then a cost control monitoring. So you do work hard in this class, but in the end there is no final exam. So your efforts are really invested in the course itself. You're graded for your understanding of the course, but no final at the end, so you're cut free. So I hope you enjoy this semester. Good luck.